What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the BrownCast. I'm Afnan Rahman from the BrownCast with my co-host Ishatul Islam and our special guest Ahmed Khalid bin Nur Fuad. Ishatul, introduce Fuad now.
First of all, Fuad doesn't need any introduction. Like he's well known by everyone. But still, like the choto introduction diye de. So Fuad studied at SEMS first, and then he moved to Hertco. So I didn't know him to be honest. Who was Fuad but then I got to know about him. So if you ever did MUNs, you just have to go to any person like any EB and ask who Ahmed Fuad is. Probably your EB will be frightened too as well to, talk about him because he's that much, popular and all. Like, he's an amazing debater. He's well known for his MUNs. And yes, he was the Secretary General of Hertco Model United Nations 2019. So, yeah.
Fuad, we're happy to have you here, and we'll be moving on to the questions. The first questions, a few questions are from me and Ishatul, and then we'll move to the quick questions, and then we'll move on to the fan questions at last. So most of you have seen the poster, and it's like mainly based on communism. So we'll like try to keep the answers, the questions not related to communism. We'll keep the things educational. So what that first question for you is, all of us do MUNs with the same intention at first. Like we go for partying, and after we do the party things, we realize that we can at some point become good at this thing. And after we become good and win multiple awards, like most of us, including me and Ishatul, we want to become EBs in the future. So how did you end up becoming an EB member?
Um, to be honest, not everyone starts anywhere for partying. I mean, at least I didn't because I was the furthest thing from a party guy. I started it just as an ECA. Then I got involved with it, and I was always interested into politics, international relations, diplomacy, negotiation. I was always into those things. So it went in parallel to my and to my interests, I'd say. So ওটার জন্য I was involved with anyone and I pursued this. How to, if your question is how to become an EB, the answer is simple. Don't strive to become one. You guys probably know Ashik Mohammed Choudhury is one of my, I'd say one of my Indian mentors. Uh, he told me one thing I remember before his party. He said he never applied for it. He was invited to chair in a committee. So what you strive to, if you want to strive to something that is not, you shouldn't strive to become an EB. তোমার ইন্টেনশনটা এরকম থাকা উচিত যে আমাকে ডেকে নিতে আমার কোনোখান থেকে অ্যাপ্লাই করে অথবা লিঙ্ক করে সেটা বিকজ ইভি কালচার সার্কিটের এখন যে অবস্থা not necessarily every EV is a capability, not necessarily every EV is justified or well worth this position. তো ওটার কনসিডারেশন রেখে তোমার টার্গেটটা থাকবে আমি এত ভালো ডেলিগেট করবো এত ভালো এক্সিকিউটিভ বোর্ড মেম্বার হবো যেখানে মাই ক্রেডিবিলিটি or my credentials shouldn't be questioned by anyone ওরকম একটা স্টেজে যেতে পারলে ইউল ফিল যে হ্যাঁ একটা স্টেজে গিয়েছি যে I have excelled in the ACI I was pursuing. That should be your course of action. Don't strive to become an ED. That's a very foolish and stupid thing to start from.
For the answer, Ishatul, do you have a question for Fuad?
Yes, Fuad. So my question is like, we know like you shifted from SEMS to Hertco. So like, how did you become the Secretary General of Hizman Association? And like, what like suddenly কেউ imagine করে নাই যে Hertco will organize such a big event, right? It was like আমাদের মাথায়ও আসতো না যে হার্ডকোর ইন্টার একটা টুর্নামেন্ট মানে ইন্টার কিছু হবে যে অন্য স্কুলের থেকে আমাদের স্কুলে কিছু আসবে সো ইয়া এত কম টাইমে তুমি এসে লাইক এই চেঞ্জটা কিভাবে হইলো এন্ড লাইক কিভাবে ইনিশিয়েটিভটা হইছে এন্ড দেন কি কি করে তোমার হিজমানটা করা লাগছে এন্ড অল লাইক কুড ইউ প্লিজ শেয়ার উইথ আস
This is long story. So from where should I start from? I remember having talking with a few of my friends back in SEM when we were planning to do our A levels in Hartford because I'm a SEM থেকে পুরো একটা gang we came together in Hartford. So we were planning. I was thinking this MUN is a good stuff and SEM being an airport school would create a lot of issues in hosting something that is not that they're not familiar with. So what if we can do an MUN in her? So that was my initial suggestion, but it was a very vague proposition, just casual discussion among the children, nothing very concrete about. That's where my first planning of this one started, you can say. Yeah, sort of. But hey, it was in plan. But Hartkote, I knew if there's one person I knew from Hartko, before joining Hartko, it was Zahin. So when I went to Hertco, he was the first person who was not from SEMS and he was welcoming me to Hertco. So I'm like, okay, Amy Purbo, it'll be fun and available. So yeah, we were into it. And for a is for intramonth, I was delegate program just to see how the event culture practice. I cannot go into the details without getting political, and I don't really want to criticize anyone in this live podcast. So I'll try to go as neutral as I can. So there has been a lot of issues. One particular issue was at the end of intramonth. What happens in every other school and what happened in SEM usually ক্লাবগুলো থাকতো ক্লাবের লিডারশিপ গুলো there was a mechanism leadership transfer যে একজন প্রেসিডেন্ট যাচ্ছেন বা একজন ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট যাচ্ছে he or she used to transfer the part probably when there no I have never heard of such a club যেখানে president or vice president appoints the next president or vice president without any consultation with the school authority or anything. So এরকম একটা situation I was there on the closing ceremony of the intramu. ওখানে the thing happened was one of our former presidents, she passed on the presidency to another person who was 2 batch younger than her. And the batch in between was our batch. So it sort of hurt my batch sentiments. And yeah, I was a bit triggered. But again, I was new in her school and I didn't know a lot of people. So I didn't create a fuss about it. Just, okay, fine. Probably this is how it is. And soon after, I started talking with my fellow batch. Why our batch did not. Then I figured out যারা fellow batchmate বলতে I mean যারা hardcore O-level থেকে hardcore ছিল, not the people যারা same. So it turned out that the feelings are very mutual. They didn't want it to go that way. So what I tried to do is when I tried to initiate a conversation with our event coordinator, sir, but he seems to be lenient. He wasn't very interested to have that conversation. So I stopped pursuing that. Okay, fine. I don't really care because it's just an issue at the end of the day. After a while, we did our AS. Then I got pursued by Shaksham to be the DG of this month. I was back then. I was thinking, with Zahin as the secretary and Taz as the president. So I agreed. I agreed because Zahin Taz. এখানে আমি MUN politics এখানে situation হচ্ছে simple. Zahin Taz's যে ক্লাবের সাথে contribution, they have been hurt for their entire life, right? It was second home to them. I'm just a foreigner in her football. So I was thinking, yeah, they deserve to take the lead. It's their second. So I was happy to be, since they invited and they were good friends, I was happy to be the teacher. Then a lot of things happened between our event coordinator and two of my friends, and which wasn't really. I wouldn't put the blame on one side when it comes to that conflict. But whatever, both sides were at fault. এই সিচুয়েশনে Shitom pursued me. Shitom did a good job of gathering the entire batch, and they were like, okay, fine. Amader, firstly, to start with, we were denied of our rights, and even though we have a much better delegate in our batch, whatever it is, even if we had, his point was that আমাদের কাছে capable মানুষজন থাকতেও we didn't get the opportunity because such a establishment or such a mechanism didn't exist to start with. So let's do a full-on reform. And for whatever reasons, our event coordinators are sided with us. So after that, we were supposed to apply to the school to get our positions. I still applied for Director General because of course, Zahin Taz were very good friends. I didn't want to eye any of their positions because as I presumed, I was eyeing their position. তখন তোমার স্যাররা স্কুল থেকে ডিসিশন নিল যে they will make me the same. I backed out initially. I said no. I remember saying no very well because আমার কাছে জিনিসটা এমনি তোলা হয়েছিল, আমার কাছে এমনি প্রেজেন্ট করা হয়েছিল যে this was betraying the former or the club president or the former president. It was sort of a rebellion against them. আমার কাছে এবার জিনিসটা প্রেজেন্ট করা হয়েছিল। পরে I had some discussions with my dad and আরো কিছু কাহিনীর পর সোজার কথা I decided to now fine, let's do it. Because this is my school's reputation at stake. আমি না করলে I didn't think there was anyone capable চালা আর কিসমান হইতোই এই বছর by hook or crook কিসমান হইতোই because আমাদের ইভেন্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর ডিটারমাইন ছিল I just had to make sure that our school reputation is protected. So I jumped in and that's how it was.
Okay, so yeah, Afnan, what's your next question?
Oh yes, Fuad, this is an educational one, and this is for all the students that are below O or A levels. So we have to make this thing educational, and we know that you have done excellent results in your both A and A levels. So what would you recommend the younger generation to focus more on studying in coachings or to focus more on studying at home?
To be honest, school study at home is good enough. আমি অনেক কোচিং but আমি কোচিং এ যেতাম because I বাসা থেকে আমাকে বের হতে দিতাম কোচিং was the only opportunity যেখানে বাসার বাইরে যে you could hang out with friends একটু আড্ডা টাড্ডা মারা যেত so yeah you sure do coaching if you think it's necessary because এটা না রিকোয়ারমেন্টটা অনেকটা সাবজেক্ট অনেকে স্কুলে বুঝে না অনেকে বাসায় একা পড়তে পারে না ফর মি বাসা ওয়াজ মোর দেন আমি 2 মাস পরে আমার A2 তে I got straight A 2 মাস এসে আমার রেজাল্ট খারাপ ছিল যেন আমি দেখতে একটু নেমে গেছে বাট বাসা is more than enough if you have the dedication coaching if you need a push and if you need an excuse to go around sure it's your life man তোমাদের সময়টা available সেটা মজা করো don't just make it boring let it go boring make it very study oriented but study is important so don't ignore that as well that is it.
So we were suggested to keep the podcasts as short as possible, so we won't be asking any more questions from us and we'll just be moving on to the fun and quick questions. Ishat will start off with your questions that you have made.
Okay, so yeah, the first question is, would you rather choose the Soviet Union or the current Russian Federation?
Of course Soviet Union without a doubt not even a question
Acha, thik hai, so the second one is, you have to choose your friends according to their looks, like from best to worst. তিনটা নাম দিব তিনজনের থেকে তোমার best to worst ওদেরকে রেট করা লাগবে ওকে according to their looks.
সবসময় মানে এর মধ্যে ঝগড়া লাগাইতে চাস না
হ্যাঁ obviously. আচ্ছা, so the names are Tatir Apu, Ilma Apu আর Tazrian Apu. from best to worst according to their looks.
Why look?
Yeah, because that's the question.
Alright, I'm just answering this because I have to. Guys, don't take it this personally. Safira, Tajrian, Ilma.
ইলমা আপু শেষ লাস্টে তোমাকে দিছে আল্লাহ ফুয়াদ ভাই মানে ইলমা আপুকে লাস্টে মানে ইউ থিঙ্ক লাইক আচ্ছা থাক বাদই দিলাম আর দরকার নেই আচ্ছা সো
I
দ্য
see.
নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেন এন্ড
I'm trying to protect her beauty from those evil, male, perverted males out there. Guys, don't search you.
হ্যাঁ 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 এগুলো এগুলো বলে লাভ নাই বুঝছো তুমি কিন্তু ওকে ওয়ার্স্ট বলছো লাইক বেস্ট টু ওয়ার্স্ট এর থেকে লাইক ইলমা আপুজ দ্য ওয়ার্স্ট ওকে ফাইন we can go on with the next question okay the next question is if you could remove anyone from Hisman 2019 who would it be and why
Anyone from the SD or
um
from the
yeah secretariat but anyone that's like anyone you know anyone and Kano like it could be the
I know
like
that
you know event
I know
organizers or something.
I know the answer you're expecting, but probably that won't be the answer because regardless of
Uh,
whatever I say, he were not there, he was not there, Kisman hoto na. So he was a big support. Apart from all the bullshit serial, so now SB থেকে যদি বলতে হয় কাকে বাদ
obviously without your CS ছাড়া তোমার হিসমান পুরা হই মানে ডেলিগেটসি পাই তারা এত ভালো ভালো সিএস ছিল
কাকে বাদ দিতাম আমি my SB was too good and I don't want to take name,
now you
but
have to take anyone and why
Quick করা লাগবে quick questions
আমি বের করতাম আমি একজনকে না তিনবার আমি এসবি থেকে বের করে দিচ্ছিলাম তিনবার এক্সপেল করছিলাম পাবিও তো ওকে আমি বের করতাম জাস্ট টু সেভ হিম ফ্রম মাই harassment because ওকে আমি এত প্যারা দিচ্ছি in the entire tenure just to save him from my harassment I would have found it. He was better
আচ্ছা
off
না
without being in the university to start with.
ফুয়াদ ভাই make it short like say one name and why কেন like কাকে বাদ দিবা and কেন
Fabio just to save him from the harassments I did to him. ওকে আমি তিনবার এসবি থেকে বের করছিলাম ওকে আমি গরুর মতন ঝাড়ি মারছি তো yeah he was better off. I think that.
okay I'm done with my 3 questions and Afnan it's your turn now
Okay, I'll be asking you some would you rather questions and please answer them quickly. The first question is would you rather erase all the capitalists living in this world or would you erase all the homosexual people living in this world?
Force the capitalist. Why would erase homosexual? That's how they are. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But being a capitalist is definitely their fault. And it should be persecuted.
okay
Okay, the next question is from Tatirapu. She asked for a shout out, so here it is. Shout out to Tatirapu. Would you travel all over the world on foot or wait for Sahil's reply to your messages? I don't know what this means, but you must have some inside jokes.
Of course, I'll travel the world on foot. Sahil reply. How can
Okay.
it's because he doesn't since it's an inside joke, he never replies. He's never online. Not too much for online. But he's one of my best friends. That's how he is. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is we know that you're a good cook, so would you always make your own food? Like whenever you're hungry, if you even want to have a piece of bread, you have to make it, or always have a random person cook a meal for you? You don't know the person personally or anything about them, they'll just cook a meal for you.
I think I'll go for the random person because we don't always have the motivation, the energy. Random.
Okay, he might cook something bad for you.
I mean, food is not always good. Bad, but like, come on, man. Come on, dude.
Okay, the next question is from Ilma Apu. Would you rather leave politics or block your crush forever?
এত confused হওয়ার কি আছে ভাই?
That's the way
Quick,
confusing.
Like simply say it. Like it should
This
be your crush.
যদি আমি দেখি তাহলে এটা প্রবলেম আছে।
ভাই crush
খালেদা
choose
জিয়া
করলো
নাকি
না?
তোমার crush?
খালেদা জিয়া তোমার crush?
আরে
তুমি
না,
মাত্র
বলতেছি পলিটিক্স না।
ও
I
আচ্ছা
think
আমি মনে করছি
I think I'll because my crush is so good. I think I probably will leave.
ও ক্রাশের জন্য আমার জানা লাগবে ক্রাশটাকে obviously. ফুয়াদ ভাই পলিটিক্স ছেড়ে দিতেছে ক্রাশের জন্য। Also, Maliha Apu wanted a shout out from you for breaking her leg.
This is
Acha,
the last would you rather. We know like you used to study in SEMS, so would you rather like always study in SEMS and never come back to like never know about hardcore, never know the people in hardcore, or would you like only know the people in hardcore and never know the people in SEMS?
I saw this coming.
So basically saying which school is better and which friends are better.
Sims has a beautiful campus. Hardcore has beautiful people. Sims can have beautiful people, but hardcore, I like the circle of hardcore more. So,
So it's hardcore.
obviously hardcore হবে।
at the end of the day, people matters more than the but stems. I mean, I've been in stems for like the entire of my life, nursery to all level school. So I cannot eradicate stems, but to be honest, hardcore probably wasn't much educative, and hardcore is where I found people. Actually, no, where I found people. Our friend was saying it, some stems to hardcore there. Hardcore.
Okay. Shabash.
বাবাস
So we are done with the would you rather questions and we'll be moving on to the fan questions. We're trying to keep the episodes as short as possible so that people watch the whole thing. So we'll be moving on to the fan questions now. And please keep the answer short for that. The first question is from I am Nisa. She asks you, what are the tips for management of both ECAs and academics? Like how can you manage time for both extracurricular activities and academics?
ইন্টারেস্ট থাকতে হবে সোজা কথা মানে ইফ ইউ আর ইনটু অ্যান ইসিএ তুমি এটা তোমার হবির মতন ইউ ডু ইট লাইক আ হবি সিম্পলি তোমার পড়ালেখা ছাড়া তোমার টাইম থাকে না ইউ প্লে গেমস ইউ ওয়াচ মুভিজ এন্ড স্টাফ সো ইসিএ উইল বি মাচ লাইক দ্যাট ইট ওয়াজ ফর মি
Okay. The next question is from Nahian. He asks you, would you try to implement the political system of communism in Bangladesh?
না সো জাস্ট a clarification, I'm not a communist as people tries to portray me. I'm a socialist or democratic socialist to be specific. So no, communism in Bangladesh will only result in I won't say the rest. তোমরা জেলে যাবা।
Okay. And the next question is from Maliha Apu. She asks you, please tell us about the time you got took to the police station.
আচ্ছা, I cannot answer this in short. I cannot.
Okay, okay.
But
এমনি
I'll try to put as
পডকাস্টে শর্ট
concise as I can.
পুরাটুক বলো,
হ্যাঁ,
পুরাটুক বলো, প্রবলেম নেই।
আচ্ছা, so this was 2 days after, this was during the student protest. তোমার আমাকে স্টুডেন্ট প্রোটেস্ট 2 দিন পর, যখন এনএসইউ তে অ্যাটাক হলো তার 2 দিন পর আমি মিরপুর 10 বই বিচিত্রাতে গেছি টু বাই কোয়েশ্চেন পেপার। তো বই বিচিত্র থেকে কোয়েশ্চেন পেপার নিয়ে বের হচ্ছে। সো one of this surgeon, he stops me and he asks যে আপনি কি ইউনিভার্সিটি স্টুডেন্ট না কলেজ স্টুডেন্ট? আমি বললাম আমি কলেজ স্টুডেন্ট। বলে যে আপনি কি আন্দোলন টান্দোলন করছেন? হ্যাঁ করছি। Because to be honest, I have this bad habit of not giving a thought, censored that thought. But তোমার, he was like, ও আমার সাহস দেখে ভয় পেয়ে গেছে। Personally, I'm not afraid of anything. So like যে আচ্ছা আপনার ফোন চেক করতে হবে আমাদের। I'm like sure. নিল ফোন খুললো, ফোন খুলে দেখে যে চ্যালেঞ্জিং টাইম মিমস সব। তো খোলার পর দেখছে আপনার আমাদের সাথে আসতে হবে। মিরপুর 10 বইবিচির থেকে থানা কাফরুল থানা ইজ ভেরি ক্লোজ। লাইক তখন আমি ভাবলাম যাচ্ছে না, দিস ইজ গেটিং মেসি। আমি ভাবলাম যে লেটস, আমি বললাম যে আই ওয়ান্ট টু টক টু মাই ড্যাড। আমি বললাম যে না, আপনার ফোন কনফিসকেটেড, ইউ ক্যানট টক টু ইউর ড্যাড। Alright, fine, sure. Because আমি জানি for a reason my dad used to know the officer in charge. So I wasn't really afraid. And my dad has his spirit. তো তারপরে আমাকে নিয়ে গেল থানায়। থানায় নিয়ে ওখানে আমি আমি না বেশি ডিটেলসে যাচ্ছি না, because this might get negative for your podcast. তো ওখানে থানায় নেওয়ার পর খুব কিছু কাহিনী হলো। বাবার সাথে কথা হলো, তারপর আমাকে চা নাস্তা খাওয়াই বাসায় পাঠাতে। That's the end of the story. But the thing is, what I felt ওই সময় যে আমার মতন এরকম অনেকজনকে নেওয়া হয়েছে, we weren't arrested, we weren't tortured, we weren't tormented. আমাদেরকে কেউ কোনো মানে তুই তোকারিও করেনি, খুব সম্মানের সাথে কথা বলতে। But the main motive for that was to scare us. And for once I can say that they failed. It failed to scare me, of course. এত সহজে ভয় পাই না।
Okay, so Fuad bhai, the next question is from Sajid. He asks you, which format do you like better if it would be implemented in the whole world, Sharia law or the communism?
Sharia law অনেক বেশি vague, এক একজন এক এক রকম করে নেয়। So definitely communism, because some interpretation of Sharia law is basically ISIS. So communism, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Afnan,
the next few fan questions will be answered by Ishatu.
I mean, asked by Ishatu, not answered.
Sorry.
Acha, so for here is a question from one of the fans. That's Abid Hassan. What's the most embarrassing situation of your life?
জীবনে embarrassed হয় না।
I famous মানুষজন জন্মই হয়েছে পারফেক্ট, এম্বারেস হয় লাগে না। আমরা হইতেছে গরিব মানুষ, জায়গায় যাই এম্বারেসমেন্ট ফেস করা
think of a lot of important moments, but একটা ওখানে বলার মতো না। So I think একটা বলা যায়, it was again a Hisman story. It was basically একটা আচ্ছা একটা incident, because I was very embarrassed for this. It was probably during Hisman day 2 বা day 2 রাতে আমার একজন এসবি মেম্বারকে, I'm not taking his name, আমার একজন এসবি মেম্বারকে who was in very seniority তে অনেক উপরের সিচুয়েশন ছিল, I মানে bashed him like, মানে he didn't deserve it. আমি ওকে এত বাজেভাবে হিউমিলিয়েট করছি, এত বাজেভাবে সবার সামনে বকাঝকা করছি, কথা বলছি। He's a very good friend, Like this is something I felt very embarrassed about it for whenever I talk with him. Yeah. আচ্ছা এটা ছাড়া আরো কিছু ইনসিডেন্ট আছে যেমন শামস অনেকবার অনেক এম্বারেসিং কিছু সিচুয়েশন আমাদের কাছে ছিল আমি ডিটেলসে যাবো না বাট আই গেস ইউ গাইস প্রবলি নো সো that'll be it.
Okay. Oh, so the next question is from Mohammad Nahian Swalihin. Story of your passion for communism getting you into trouble. Like, communism passionate জন্য like তোমার like কোনো trouble face করা লাগছে like that dragged you into a trouble. So yeah.
Which তোমার police was an issue like communist rally গুলাতে যখন আমি গেছিলাম police was a consistent issue and আমি communism text but I got so revolutionary so radical I wouldn't care চাইতাম যে মার দিতাম মার খাইতাম so হ্যাঁ that was a lot of trouble but
Okay,
thankfully I'm a lot
so
right now.
okay, so these are the questions from the same person. Next do the question. His name is Fardin_89. Okay, so the questions are: what are your thoughts about DPS-1 4 and how much do you hate Hurtco?
I don't hate I don't like TPS-14 more than I like Hurtco obviously but yeah both of them are good yeah they're pretty fine except for Hurtco's authority but then again authorities are always shit thanks
Okay,
to
so
Javed asking that loathsome question.
okay, I have one more question, and I won't. It's anonymous. So the question is, when was the last time you cried over a girl?
I never cried over a girl.
Alright. Yeah. So pretty much that's it. I hope Afnan we're done with the fan questions.
Yes, we are. And it was a pleasure having Fuad Bhai on our second episode of the podcast. We hope this podcast does well. To all the people watching, please like the video. You can dislike it if you don't like it and comment like how we can improve ourselves in the future and share the video with your friends because it's just not only for entertainment and you could learn a lot of things from the great Ahmed Fuad. And yeah, that's it for our ending
It was
thing.
an honor being here.
Yeah, we are more
Thank
honored.
you so much. And guys, sorry for any mistakes we have done hosting Fuad Bhai. Please, like আগের থেকে apologies চাচ্ছি. Forgive us and let us know what are the things we can improve. Yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions, just knock us on Instagram. Bye bye.